Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Commander Clash podcast, where the Commander Clash crew, me, Richard, Seth, and Krim, gather around to discuss Commander-related topics. And this week, we are talking about the Hullbreacher ban. Recently, as of last week, I guess by the time this one's going up, Hullbreacher got officially banned in Commander. And the Rules Committee basically said that it got the boot mostly because of, in casual crowds, it too often was being paired with wheels and proactive play to strip basically all the cards out of everybody's hands. Hullbreacher says if an opponent would draw, one or more cards outside of their draw phase, they don't draw any of those cards, and you make treasure tokens instead. And then wheel effects are always like Wheel of Fortune or Windfall or whatever that all say discard your entire hand, draw a new hand. And so the interaction between the two basically allowed the person with the Hullbreacher and the wheel to strip everybody's hands and make a bunch of treasure tokens on their side of the battlefield. And their explanation was this was happening too often in casual play. It was prevalent in casual play, and it was a play pattern that they do not wish to promote, and therefore they removed it. However, they did not ban similar effects like Notion Thief and Narset, Part of Veils, which also have a same card draw denial effect, very similar. Notion Thief, is drawing cards instead of generating treasures, and Narset not giving you any treasures or drawing you cards, but being also just a 3-mana planeswalker that could tick down and get some extra value that way as well. I like the background, by the way, Crow.
I got to pour one out for my best friend.
Fantastic. So that is what happened last week. A Rules Committee officially banned Hullbreacher, and now we are going to be discussing it because, surprise, surprise, if you have listened to previous podcasts, you know that all of us have different feelings towards Hullbreacher, some positive, some negative, but we don't know, or at least I don't know, what everybody feels about banning it, because that's one thing to dislike a card, and another thing to ban it entirely. So, first of all, what I want to talk about is, what do we think about the Rules Committee's official explanation for the banning? Is it consistent with their own ban list philosophy, and what do you think about the explanation that was given? Richard. Seth. Somebody.
I mean, I'll say, okay. They're never consistent, so I don't even know why we're asking this question anymore. Like, why is it even a question? We all know we did a whole 2-part series about the ban list. The biggest takeaway was it's not consistent. So no, it was not consistent, but I don't expect consistency out of the Commander ban list because that's just not how it works, apparently.
To be fair, also, they went on record, Sheldon, and I'm going to say from my recollection, but if I am true, future me will post, on the screen right now. They did say that they're not actually aiming for consistency with their ban list as a response to people saying that the Hullbreacher ban is not consistent. They're aiming for making sure there is a fun experience, and yes, they use signpost bans too, where they're like, we'll ban a card and leave that as an example, a signpost for other cards we would consider unfun and casual Commander. So when asked why is this inconsistent, they say, well, it is not supposed to be consistent, therefore your criticism is invalid.
That's exactly what someone who managed an inconsistent ban list would say, though.
I have a serious question, though.
Yes.
The term casual commander gets thrown around a lot.
Yes.
What does it mean? Are we casual? Is the person that goes to Walmart and buys like a single deck casual? Is the person that doesn't own a deck but plays their friends' cards casual? Is LSV after the Pro Tour casual, right? Like, what do we mean when we say casual? Because I just don't believe that I sit down at a casual table, I get Hullbreacher wheeled left, right so much that I need to run out and ban this card, right? Like, what do we think casual means for the RC?
Casual means when there is an outcry from people playing their 17-color koala tribal deck and are wondering why this card exists because they forgot to put any interaction whatsoever.
I take offense to that comment. I would play 17 color koalas.
You've been working on that build for so long, Chris.
I'm just one card away from making it work, okay?
About. Yeah, it's all changelings.
Who told you about my deck?
All changelings with one koala. It's actually a scarecrow deck.
Yeah, scarecrow. No, like, okay. Legitimately though, like, I don't know what casual means at this point, right? Because like, first off, what if you're seeing a Nekusar deck playing the wheel plan and all that? Actually, no, Nekusar would not want a Hullbreacher in their deck. So the thing is, I don't know, like, what is casual then at this point? Richard asked the exact thing. Like, I was curious about, like, what does that mean? Because I would say we're casual. We're very casual. I mean, we are nowhere near competitive. And I would assume that along with, like, I'm being serious. Would you say that we're competitive? Okay.
I agree, but also keep in mind, what's on our house ban, Krim?
What's on our...
Or was. We can remove it now, finally. So...
Yeah, it's unbanned, Krim. we have unbanned Hullbreacher for you starting this week.
Finally, it's unbanned.
Silver lining here.
I knew I should have played
like,
it.
Yeah, we are the casual group, but we did get rid of a bunch of cards that we did not like playing. So
I think casual means not CEDH. Like, I think that's the divide.
Okay.
Anything that is not literally CEDH is casual, ranging from a precon or an upgraded precon to our kind of whatever we determine 6-7 power level, all the way up to like even more powerful than us. But if you're not CDH, you're casual. And I think that might be how the RC views it too.
Okay.
I think well, again, it would be nice to bring one of the rules committee on to hear their story on it. But like, I would imagine that it's the same thing. It's like whatever is not CDH, and then ideally whatever is closer to their own personal power level, I guess. Because I mean that's the lens that they view Commander from, right? They don't have like omnipotence or omniscience in terms of knowing what every single Commander player plays and perfect data, because that's also like very difficult to pull off. So they have to play based on like their experience and the experience of their Discord and you know a couple thousand people, I guess, and that's their definition of casual. Yeah.
So I guess you can tell from our leading commentary here that Krim dislikes the banning, right? I think I dislike the banning, although I'm not as hard set on it. Seth likes the banning, and Tomer likes the banning. Right?
No.
Is that a correct represent? Oh,
I don't want.
Okay.
I did not want to ban.
Really?
That's a lie. Hold on. Are you trolling me? Are you trolling me right now?
You fought so hard to house ban
our play group.
Hold on. Are you trolling me right now,
Tomer's rational though. His own interests don't. They don't apply to the entirety of the Commander base. Right?
I hate Hullbreacher. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's one of my least favorite cards. But I think the main issue that I have is more an issue with the ban list itself. I like consistency, and I like short ban lists. And the main question is, like, does Hullbreacher warrant a ban more so than other cards? And personally, I hate it. I hate this card. And I do think it's a lot stronger than, the crowd who are like, oh, turn 17 koala decks can't answer it. Like, think about Hullbreacher at a typical table. Like, one person has a Hullbreacher in their hand and a wheel in their hand as their starting hand, right? They have no other ramp and they have 3 lands. And you're sitting at a table with them. What are you actually supposed to, let's say the rest of the table, the get good, have removal for Hullbreacher crowd. Are you supposed to basically, if you have a blue opponent at the table, are you supposed to basically, on your turn 2/3, essentially you're supposed to hold up removal for that Hullbreacher that will be flashed in end of turn 3, and then turn 4 wheel? Like, is that something that's a reasonable expectation for people to have? And I think,
of course,
that's not really it. And I think it's a lot stronger than people are like, oh, just have removal. Because literally, you could go end of turn 3, flash in Hullbreacher, my turn, I wheel you, you lose. And I think that's a major concern. It's not like I could have 12 targeted removal spells in my deck, and it basically playing scared from turn 2 onward is not a realistic goal unless you're in CDH, where you have, Force of Will, and you have, free spells, and you have mana crypts and everything to get your mana out. Like if I have like turn 2 Signet Go, and then turn 3 I want to cast something, I don't think it's reasonable to say to casuals, oh, keep your removal spell there. That's the main thing that I have a disagreement with.
Go ahead, Crib.
Okay, but how is that any different than, let's just say, I go at the end of, I just storm off. I have a bunch of fast mana, right? I play my fast mana, and then I just have, because you can still have a casual storm deck, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't just storm off immediately after.
But there's a difference between having a deck that is a storm deck and a deck that happens to have Hullbreachers and Wheels in it.
But that's just a wheel deck to me. I feel like if you know you're playing against a wheel deck, just like how you're going to play against a storm deck, I would think it's reasonable to leave up the mana.
But sure, if you're playing against an Yakuza or something, then maybe that would be an argument. But this can show up in hundreds of different decks. Like, Wheels are staples, Hullbreachers are staples. It's not like you sit down. Anytime you see a deck that has blue mana, you got to assume that they could have Hullbreacher Windfall on turn 3. No matter what, could be Orvar, any commander, name any commander, and that could theoretically be in their deck.
I mean, that sounds like it. Though that's true, because it is playable in like any blue deck. Are you often seeing people that are just playing a bunch of Wheels and Hullbreacher in a, like, let's just say, a mono blue Flyers deck? Right? Because if so, then that's just that's a deck building thing, right? I'm just like, well, first off, I guess you got me, but like, I'm not gonna play around that there. So yeah, fair. I'm not gonna play around out of a mono blue Flyers deck.
Yeah, I would say you're sitting at the wrong table. Like, no one's arguing this is not a strong play, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
If I turn 1, play like Lion's Eye Diamond, Ad Nauseam, Thassa's Oracle, like, what are you gonna do? Hold up Force of Will on your turn 0? Like, no, right? You're just sitting at the wrong table at this point, right? So the person playing Hullbreacher Wheels is playing like a power level 8 deck at presumably a power level 5 or 6 table, right? Like, everyone, if they were playing at a CDH table, everyone would be shoving their Force of Wills in your face, and then you'd be dead, right? And you would not make that line. So what you're doing is you're pub stomping. Right.
Right.
There are many cards we can use to pub stomp, right? It does not have to be Hullbreacher. So I would say you're sitting at the wrong power level table, and I don't know how that's fixable. It's a 2-card combo. You can't accidentally put it in your deck. Like something like Dockside, or like, say, even Primeval Titan. It's 1 card. You put in your deck, you don't know, but you're going out of your way to put this 2-card game-ending combo. It's like putting Oracle Consultation in your deck. You know what you're doing. You're pub stomping, so
yeah, but
should we really be
I don't think that's
that?
I don't think that's a great comparison, though, because both Hullbreacher and Wheels have a lot of value outside of the combo. When Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle are just like dead cards unless you're comboing. Like, people play Hullbreacher to hate on opponents' card draw sometimes, and people play Wheels to refill their hand sometimes. So I think that's like, I don't really like that comparison that much, because these are cards that you would just put in your deck to play fairly.
It's like if I bring Golos to the table, like, you know what I'm doing, right? Like, I can play it fairly. Like, I don't know, right? Like, everyone knows what's up, right? So if you're putting this wheel, like, the reason it's so good is because each individual part is good, right? You would play both halves of the combo, right? Is that enough to ban a single card? You still have these 2-card combos, by the way, right? You just banned a single one, right?
Yeah. So I think there is, like, the rules committee said it's prevalent in casual play, and I do agree with them to an extent that, like, I think Hullbreacher Wheel, you'll run across decks that run Hullbreacher Wheel far more than you will run against, like, Crim's example of a dedicated Storm deck, or like a dedicated, CEDH, like semi-CEDH style deck. Like, these 2 cards, at least the only data that we can really use is anecdotal evidence, which is not great, and like EDH Rec, which also has its own issues where, like, a lot of people will just make decks and not necessarily play them, and those
Right.
get picked up by EDHREC as well. But that is the best. That is one of the best things we have right now. And I guess Wizards of the Coast might have data as well from Magic Online. They probably keep track of how many cards are played in whatever format. So we could probably get data from them too, but that's not publicly available. And again, that's also its own meta as well, where, I would say Magic Online is a little bit more high powered than what we're used to, I think. Also like semi-competitive. But like regardless, all of these data points are flawed, but they are the best we have to work with. And if we like look at, Hullbreacher on EDHREC, it's still 18%. So for just blue decks, for the total all decks, I believe, which is a staggering amount.
But there's no way that's correct, though, right? Like a $25 card and 20% of blue decks of actual casual Magic players.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is true. I think a lot of people are just building random decks and they'll throw it in, but they don't intend to actually build it. But like again, like if we're ever citing EDHREC for anything, this is always going to be some bias there or error. But it's the best that we have. Like we don't have other entry points.
I think it's also important to point out that it's not all $25 cards are created equal. This was from a recent really popular set that people open boxes of.
Last year.
Yeah, not the end, like November, December, like 6 months ago. So this was a set that a lot of people opened boxes of. So I think it's like realistic that people just bought a box or two, and since it was at rare, probably opened one. So I think compared to like a $25 card from a decade or two ago that you'd actually have to spend $25 on, this one's probably a little bit more accessible and in more collections because of that.
So the only reason why I brought that up is like the rules committee said they banned it not because it's like the strongest thing you could ever do in Commander, or that pub stompers can't pub stomp without it, but it was just showing up very often. And I agree with I can agree with that based on what data we have available to us. And again, it's not perfect. It is super prevalent. And that could be an issue at casual tables. I could definitely see people being like, I'm a pirate deck, so I'm gonna run Hullbreacher, and I had wheels anyway in this deck too. So, whoops, GG. I guess that's really good. And I'm in a Merfolk deck, and I'm gonna run Windfall, and well, I guess it came off that way, yay. And then I'm a rogue deck, or I'm a steal your stuff deck, and
It's not a rogue.
Stealing.
It's not a rogue.
Well, I'm stealing your cards, and there's also a reason why we house banned it. It's not like Krim was or everybody was running like wheel decks every single week, but like just the threat of having it was just not fun. Like I don't know.
we house banned it as a concession to you, Tomer.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
conceded Armageddon. I'm like, whatever. We played it once.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. What do you think? What kind of precedent do you guys think this sets? Right. If we're saying a good card from the latest Commander product is being prevalently played, when Commander Legends 2 comes around, Wizards is itching to sell those packs. So they're going to put another good card in that will sell, right? Maybe it's even colorless, like Jewel Lotus, right? What they were just going to keep chasing down these cards? Like every time,
Yes.
It's hit the 30% play threshold, let's axe it, right? Like, how can this be sustainable, right?
Well, first off, that's exactly what's going to happen. Anytime a new set, anything comes out, if people just don't like it, it's going to get put on the ban list. Because if we're not banning on the problem here is we're not banning on a power level scale. So I think, or at least that's what I'm told, that when it comes to the RC, they're not banning entirely on a power level scale usually. So if that's the case, then if people just don't like it enough, it'll get banned. And as I've mentioned this tons of times before, but I think that a lot of Magic and whatnot, casual Magic, just I think will eventually be I don't like that card. I don't like that card. I don't like that card. They're trying to. You're going to be able to rule zero essentially everything out of the format, and I think that's kind of problematic because things like this or gotcha cards or anything powerful are good enough reasons to keep in the format so people respect power levels, respect certain things, play around certain things. And I don't care if it's Hullbreacher or not. I mean, like as simple as just any gotcha card, any powerful hate card like Rest in Peace or anything like that. Eventually, it works its way down, and then all these cards get hated out, and I hate that. I
don't know if I believe the slippery slope argument here. Like, I don't hear anyone calling for Rest in Peace to be banned. I don't
not
even hear
specifically Rest
like,
in
but
Peace,
that's what I'm
but-
saying.
How
Like,
about
I don't think
opposition agent Turd.
Yeah. Yeah.
like are people
So
are those cards getting banned? Like, is there actually like a movement to ban them?
Yeah.
Hateful about them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't show up that often. Or I mean, Turgid doesn't show up that
Droneth
often because you know
Magistrate.
to just avoid playing that person.
I feel like this reminds me of like Oko. Like, people complain that there's too many bans, but sometimes you really do need to ban cards. I see Hullbreacher as a uniquely miserable mistake card that Wizards never should have made with its current wording, and I don't see it as some slippery slope or setting a precedent. I see it as Wizards messed up. Like, Wizards has done a lot over the last couple of years, and this
What
is
about
the
Notion
solution.
Thief?
Notion Thief
What
is
about
more
Narset?
mana,
Right?
and in
like these cards are very similar, right? It's
they
not
are way
like this is the
worse
first
though.
time.
They're significantly worse though. Like, Narset sorcery speed, so it's 6 mana if you want a Narset wheel
But it's the
instead
same
of doing
play
it on.
pattern. We're not banning on power level, right? It's the same play pattern of I empty your hand and let you watch me as I try to close out the game with no finishers like Krim would normally do, right? Like, it's the same play pattern.
Except
It's
I
the-
never wheel.
But like, so Notion Thief was kind of my head scratcher, and that's why I was a little bit confused at the ban. Is like, Notion Thief, I don't consider it that much worse than Hullbreacher was. Instead of making treasures, you draw cards, and I do think making treasures is superior than drawing cards and not having the mana to actually cast them and like win off them. It also costs 1 more mana, and it requires you to be in Dimir colors, and so that means it's far less splashable. It's just far less homes that you can put it in. But nonetheless, you can still do a very similar play pattern where, like, essentially after like by turn 4, you need to have spot removal up at all times, or else the person who has Notion Thief wheel can essentially just end step Notion Thief on turn wheel at any given time. Kind of sounds like Splinterton in Modern, honestly. like it feels like that. It's like, it's turn 4. I guess I have to just shields up at all times or something like that. But
I
yeah,
think
the fact that it wasn't banned.
The color identity thing is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, the difference between like 2 colors, that by itself puts it in many fewer decks. Like, you just can't play in it as many homes. So going by the RC's like level of play argument rather than power level, I could see that being like sort of, at least by RC standards, sort of actually reasonable. Like, a Dimir card can't see as much play as a monocolored card.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, so like I don't actually fault their explanation that much. It's like prevalence and feels bad, but like, I don't know. As a whole, I feel like the entire
it just
ban list
feels
is kind of
bad.
inconsistent. And I also agree with Seth about like what happens when Commander Legends 2 comes out. Is it going to be just like ban Fiesta? And I don't think so. I think the message is to Wizards of the Coast, or at least the message they'll be getting from this, is you can make very pushed cards that are just absolutely broken, but they can't be denying other players' ability to play the game. That's the main selling point. Is like Jeweled Lotus, A-okay. Make more of them. Make double Jeweled Lotus. Make 12 mana instead of 3, because it's not denying your opponents the ability to, play Magic the Gathering. It's the stuff that is too strong, too prevalent, and denies your opponents the ability to play the game and answer it afterwards. That they're saying is bad. I think that is the major distinction here. So you can power creep the hell out of Commander, and they will. But like stuff that feels bad for denying other people resources and whatnot is a no. It's a no.
So there's a problem here where there's another entire half of Magic, maybe a quarter. I don't know how popular Commander is anymore, where it's 1v1, and an important part of the game is denying your opponent stuff, right? We have cards to deny your opponent from doing things, and they will be added into Commander, right? Like, they may not come in a Commander product, but they may become, they come in the next Modern Masters or, Vintage Master, whatever, right? So this whole struggle of like, if you're casual, you can't get denied. I don't think can hold up long term, right? And I think Wizards will eventually just smack the RC down and take the format, right? Like they have a vision of what their format is, and if the RC keeps meddling, like, you know, you took my chase card out of my latest set and you banned it. I'm not very happy with this. Do this again. And, you know, right? Like it can't be good, right? To have kind of two separate entities steering the format. So I don't know, right? And clearly the RC plays classic Commander, what, you know, like big dirty creatures, like no combos, like combat, battle cruiser, whatever, right? Like they prefer that kind of magic. But when you push power level, what you get are combos, like Okos, like game-ending locks and things like that, which goes against kind of that old school magic, right? So I don't know how they're going to keep doing this going forward. And have we entered, I guess, like the age of standard where we ban cards like every set now? You know, is this the beginning of that, or this is a one-time deal? Wizards will now print low-powered, non-selling Commander products. Like, what do you think, right? They're gonna print better stuff.
haven't they been printing busted sets for like a couple of years now? And how many bannings have we had?
Isn't this a drop? Yeah, isn't this a drop in the bucket?
Because you didn't walk up to Sheldon and Jewel Lotus him and end the game on turn 1, right? I don't know why Jewel Lotus is fine or Dockside Extortionist is fine, but like Hullbreacher is no.
Because that's
right?
what that's what Sheldon said in response to it. It's like, yeah, it's like as long as you're not denying other people's fun, you can go wild with the.
How about I just end the game on the spot?
I know
that's
the thing. That's the thing.
Right?
Yeah, that is the thing. That's the thing I don't agree with. But like,
I
don't
think
know.
At this point, it's just I was having a discussion with a friend, and I think at this point now it's just a clash in ideals of like how we play Magic, right? And I'm willing to concede the point that yeah. I get it. Like a lot of people don't just want to literally just play their stuff into the void and not care about what the repercussions are. And I also think that I think that legitimately I think cards like Hullbreacher need to exist, because if you want to play a multiplayer game, your cards need to go has to go the distance, right? And I think a card that shuts off everybody over time and like kind of like allows you to keep value so you can keep up with like 3 other players, I think those cards need to exist. So I think that at the end of the day here, like the philosophy behind this card for me is like, I know some people just don't like cards that also just because you play them, it pulls you farther ahead. And people like that, those cards shouldn't exist. Like, you know what I mean? I should be down a card. But I like cards that go the distance, like my 50 for ones. So I think I think those cards need to exist, and I think Hullbreacher is that. So I think that's why I'm okay with these cards. I'm okay with them existing. I'm okay with getting got by them. I don't care about them.
You're just saying you like busted cards, 50 for ones? I don't. What?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
well, because I think this card should exist, right?
There's a format called CDH. It has a lot of busted
but
cards.
This doesn't. But like Commander's filled with busted cards, right?
Yeah.
Entirely filled with busted cards. So my issue here is still like, why is this one the one that's getting getting put on a poster here, right? Like, there's so many things, and I hear the reasonings, but it just doesn't mean anything. I guess it's like,
but like. Do you honestly think it's reasonable for like casual tables? You're saying the answer to Hullbreacher is more removal. All right, every single
not
deck
even
has
just more
12,
removal. Not even just like I'm just
What?
okay with like example like with it existing, and I don't see the problem with it. Like if you don't have an answer, you get got. Okay, you get got.
So
we go to the next game.
so most games in Commander, it's perfectly acceptable for people to be like, all right, by turn 3, you should just always have mana up for Hullbreacher, or else you're just throwing
Not
the game
necessarily, because like legitimately that sounds a lot like Richard mentioned earlier. Is that not just pub stomping? If they are consistently getting Hullbreacher and like 50 wheels, that's a wheel deck. You should know better than to queue up into like your friend's pre-con matchup with your wheel deck.
What if you just cast you have like a crap hand and you go cast Harmonize on turn 4, and then somebody just Hullbreachers you, and then you're like, well,
you've been had. Your ankles got broken. Like it's
Yeah,
okay.
Don't
I
do it 3 open mana, right?
yeah, like I don't
When are you
see the
supposed to,
issue.
Yeah,
with that.
okay.
I guess that's why it's like
I
just don't see the issue in having that happen.
But
is
like,
my thing.
here's some other powerful. I can cast a Siphon Mind. Okay, Siphon Mind is 4 mana. I draw 3 cards. You guys discard
People still
3
do that?
cards. It's a 6-for-1. Nobody
Sure.
bats an eye at it. Nobody
Yeah.
bats an eye at it, right? Even though it's an insanely powerful play. I turn 3 Rhystic Study. I draw like half my deck. Who cares, right? Like, you know, it's like so much advantage, but these cards are allowed to exist, right? I
I
Dockside
hate
Extortionist. I ramp and win the
Objection.
game. I infinitely combo by blinking it, whatever, right? Like, there's so many lines here, but like nobody bats an eye at this. So why does Hullbreacher get it, right? And I think it gets it because it's the punch in the face on the way out, right? Like opposition agent.
It's the
right?
salt.
It's just like a 2-for-1, right? But like people are insanely mad that they're denied, right?
It's the salt.
I think,
I'm telling you.
But Rhystic Study, you literally you can actually use the answer of just remove it, right? You like somebody puts down a Rhystic Study, you can just remove it like a turn later, 2 turns later you can remove it. The Hullbreacher Flash and Wheel. It's like, well, I'd remove it on this turn if I had cards in my hands,
I'd
but I
remove
don't.
it
They're gone now.
Good point.
It's
I
in the
think
graveyard.
of the Fairy Odd Parents meme. This is where my removal
Yeah.
would be if I had any.
Yeah, it's like you can legit if somebody's saying Rhystic Study is just I cannot beat Rhystic Study and like everybody's paying the 1 and it's just like impossible. It's like, well, legit, if you have removal, then you can just removal it, like get through those counters and removal. But like Hullbreacher, if they do the thing and you got, that's it, you're done. That's it. It's way stronger. I think there is a case to
They
ban
do
things
lose,
that are just
right?
too strong.
You do lose in Magic the Gathering sometimes.
But like, should cards be banned if they're just too strong in Commander? Like, is that a criteria that we should ban things, or are you saying that anything should be allowed? Should we unban the Moxen? Like, why not?
Fast mana is a huge
why-
problem, but
Why is it a huge problem? Just don't. Those are pub stumpers who run.
But this
the
is a
fast
power
mana.
level question again, right? Like,
right.
there's so many turn 1 plays I can do to win the game, but I just don't do it at a casual table, right? Like, just look at all CDH. I could take any CDH deck, bring it to a pre-con battle, and destroy everyone, right? And what are you gonna do? Like, ban the cards? No, right? You're just playing at the wrong tables, right? Like, don't bring these cards to lower power tables.
So just unban everything, right? Why do we need a ban list in the first place?
I mean, that is my philosophy.
Fully.
Right?
I
Like,
mean,
it
that's
should be as
consistent-
small as possible, right?
That's a consistent argument. I mean, I
Yeah.
would say if
Right.
you want to just unban everything, Moxen, everything, all of it, then unban it and let Rule 0, settle it out.
Also,
Fine.
congratulations for owning Moxen.
Sure.
But on top,
Proxying's free, by the way.
proxying is free, sure. But legitimately, that I am in that agreement. From our BNR list talk, I wanted almost all that stuff unbanned.
I don't know if everyone's as reasonable as we are.
Yeah.
I imagine the problem with this plan is you're gonna have some people, I know people like this, who will revel in being that guy or that girl that just messes with everyone's day. If you
But they
unban
always have
everything,
cards
aren't you
for
gonna
that,
have
right?
people that are just gonna go and ruin everyone's night at fun night out at the LGS just because they can? And if anyone says anything, they're no, the rules say I can, and it, I don't know. I feel like it works well for us because we have these discussions and we debate our own ban lists and we ban Hullbreachers and we ban this and we ban that. But
Anyone who has a consistent play group doesn't need the rules committee ban list. That's the thing. The rules committee ban list is for the pickup games. It's for that web
Right.
game from Discord.
Or
It's for
Magic
Magic
Fest.
Online. Yeah, it's for Magic Fest. It's for all these things. And in that regard, I think it is nice to have some sort of semblance of this is where the power, how big the power gap can be, and we can ban some stuff that is perhaps too high power level, too pub stompy, to help prevent those, make it less of an occurring thing, because we still want people who randomly stumble into the format to enjoy their time and bring their pre-con and not just get completely dumpstered, right? That's the more point of it. We don't need a ban list. Nobody who has a play group needs a consistent play group needs a ban list. We figured it out. We know what we want to play against. So I don't know about just completely dismantling the ban list in general. And I do agree figuring out a consistently feel good experience for what casual / new player / pickup game person would like.
So Wizards has a rarity indicator on cards, which in general tells you how powerful the cards are and how expensive they could be, right?
Yeah.
What if they add assault level onto cards, right?
Assault rarity?
If you play this, people may not be happy with you. Like Armageddon is the perfect case, right? Armageddon is legal, not banned. Who knows why, right? It's the saltiest card ever. You Armageddon, no one's having a good time, right?
I mean, I am
But
laughing,
it's
though.
legal, right?
It is pretty
And,
funny.
Sure.
Like
It's
maybe
how
you need to
prevalent
somehow
is it?
indicate that, because a lot of people know it's a salty card, right?
But
But
how
apparently
prevalent
people
is
don't
it?
know Hullbreacher is not salty, right?
Yeah.
So what if you somehow indicate this, or I don't know how they
There's
like,
no
have
way.
commercial. I don't know how you would do it, right? But is this a like awareness issue versus an actual power level issue, right?
I think it's both. It's prevalence and power level. Like I think Hullbreacher is just a much stronger card than Armageddon is. Like if you put Armageddon in a random deck, like you can get value out of it if you have a high board state and your opponents don't. But it's not very intuitive, for one. And number two, it's not as easy to get its value out of. You have to have a very specific board state. Hullbreacher, you just put it into your deck and you're going to get tons of value out of it. It doesn't even need a wheel.
I mean, it's power level, right? Obviously,
yeah, I agree.
Hullbreacher is
But
more.
But power
powerful,
level
right?
and prevalence go hand in hand. Like how easily is it understood this card is very powerful, therefore I put it into my deck. I think leads to popularity and how often you'll see it in casual tables. That's my opinion.
I feel like Hullbreacher is just like, I think it's just on Wizards. Like, I kind of agree with something Krim said a little while ago, that we do want to have, like, hate cards and things that force interaction in the format. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. My problem with Hullbreacher isn't that it hates on card draw, it's the combo aspect. And Wizards has the ability to make a Hullbreacher that doesn't do that. We've seen that. Like, Ashiok Dreamrender only hates on searching your library if your opponent's triggered it, so you can't just turn Ghost Quarters into Strip Mine. Wizards has the wording to make a Hullbreacher that doesn't combo with wheels and just hates on card draw, and that would probably be a fine, healthy, fun card. So I think it's just, I just blame it on Wizards. Like, they chose
Makes you
this
wonder
wording.
why they didn't do it that way.
They chose this wording. They wanted it to happen. Apparently,
it to happen.
That, like, what other conclusion can you draw other than that's how Wizards wanted this card to be played?
Krim was at the table where there was like the fine tuning of it.
Yep,
And
yep.
like, yes,
Yo, remove that wording right there.
that
Yeah,
word
everything.
opponents.
Yeah, okay.
Opponents
yeah.
control. Nah, not me. God, give it flash too. Boom.
Do we
Got
think it's
him.
fixed if they add that clause to Hullbreacher? Do you think people would not be salty over this card anymore?
I think they'd still
It
be
wouldn't.
salty.
It wouldn't be banned. It wouldn't be banned.
It wouldn't be
It
banned.
would not be banned. No way.
But
It'd be
but
fine. I'd be
people would
fine
still
with
be
it.
very salty. Actually, you
It'd
know
still
what?
be
No.
a-
Maybe it would. It still would get banned, right? At some point, it probably would because it is monocolor, right?
No.
It's super cheap, and then people and, like, the salt factor would still be unreal.
It would be too. It would still be one of the strongest cards, and I would consider it too strong. But not too strong
prevalence.
not too strong as in banning it. I was just like, I think the card for the mana cost and what it doesn't line up properly, in my opinion.
So,
But I
wait.
wouldn't say ban it.
Really? Because I think that just because even if you add that clause, it's still 3 mana. It's still in blue, so very
Yeah.
easy to play in every color or every deck.
And I would. I
And-
would also play it in every
And so,
deck.
for prevalence sake, I could still see it getting put on the ban list because it's a salty card that's everywhere.
It doesn't
I mean,
stop
is
your
it salty
opponents
though?
from
Like, it doesn't
getting
interact
wheeled.
with your opponent's stuff. I think it's much less salty, and I don't think
But
it
it's
hits
super
on what the
salty.
RC was saying. Like, is it?
Well, you
like, what
still
is it-
like cast
I
harmonize.
mean, if you
by
stakes this
Hullbreacher,
round for
that's
20
salty.
and I flash in a Hullbreacher and give me like cool beats, you're going to be a little salty, right?
Right, like that.
Sphinx is red.
Ah, you
Come
got
on.
me.
Sure, there,
2010 Magic.
there are times when it would still be very good. That is true, but I don't think it just wins a game, and it doesn't deny your opponents the ability to play the game. So I would not think it would. I don't think it would be a bannable card at all if they printed it that way.
Like
It
the
would be
fixed
more
one
like-
would be akin to Mana Drain or, like, say, Dockside Extortionist or something like that, right? It's like a powerful card that gets you some advantage, but not in the same offensive, like,
Not a
weird
combo
way,
piece.
right?
Right.
But
Apparently, an earlier design of it was that it was only until end of turn, but I don't even know if that would fix.
That's
anything 'cause it still
unplayable.
worked.
That's actually just unplayable.
That would just push it more towards wheel combos. I think.
if I would make Hullbreacher the way it is, it would work only on opponents. I'd make it 4 mana and I'd make it white. That's how I would make it.
I would leave it blue I'd leave it the way it was.
I know.
I would make Narset, but give her Flash.
Yep. I would make
ability.
everything, and also can't die, indestructible. When
Also
she
can't
dies,
die.
she stays an enchantment.
Also, wouldn't you make it at least a rogue, not a pirate?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
I don't. Okay, you're right. There, it is flawed. Why is it not a rogue?
True.
You know what? This card needs to be thrown away. It's not a rogue. Unbelievable.
So my question to you guys is it the other half of this combo that needs the banning? The wheel part of it, right? Like, if we're saying the fair part of Hullbreacher is fine, then what about
Wait.
the other part of its offensive weaponry, right? The wheel part of it.
Are we saying that Hullbreacher shouldn't be banned though? That was interesting. Should or should not be banned? Before we jump to wheels. Sorry.
Oh.
I think.
I think
I
you know my
support
answer.
I support it being banned. It's my least favorite play pattern. I'm sure I have personal biases, but I am absolutely thrilled that it is banned, and I hope they hit the other ones too someday.
Same. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm not. no. Like, I think this card should not be banned. I'm like on the polar opposite side of Seth. Like, as far from Seth's on this one. That's where I am.
I don't think it should be banned.
Okay.
Come, Richard. We can.
Wait, what's Tomer's answer? He
Yeah,
just said
where's
okay.
I'm like very ambivalent. I would not advocate it getting banned, even though I hate
Hop
it.
on, Tomer. We're also going. Let's go.
Even though I hate it to bits. I feel like there's other things that I would have banned earlier, and the inconsistency is what holds me off it. Though I will not shed a tear that it is banned. Okay, fine. Fine, and I just wanted to clarify there. So assuming either one has to go, wheels or Hullbreacher, which would you say is more egregious? Which one's more of the problem here going forward?
I hate wheels. And
Yeah,
I know
wheels.
that the issue here is that wheels, there are a
How do you
lot.
Hullbreacher with them?
Look at every time we played, right? How many wheels did I play? The only time I ever had a wheel that lined up with Hullbreacher was because it was commit and memory. Because mostly I used the commit half. But like,
His
legitimate-
counter spell just happened to also wheel in the combo.
No, but like-
I'm pretty sure you came across wheel plus Narset or Hullbreacher a few too many times for me.
No.
feel
That's
comfortable.
that's actually, you would think that, but only the Chaos game had the wheel with it.
That's the one that pops up to my mind immediately because I had to do a highlight on it, and literally
Right.
in the highlights,
Right.
I cut it out because I wanted to save you from the comments.
Oh,
but-
no. The comments. Are you kidding me? The comments. I hear it every day. I hear it every day.
Yeah.
The thing here is, I think that, like, legitimately, wheels, I despise them.
Okay.
I dislike wheels. I think they're harder, actually, believe it or not, harder to play around. I think that wheels, although they are used as, like, example, a way to refuel your hand, I get that, like, it's great, but, like, I hate like, you want to play with your cards, right? So if people are throwing away all your cards all the time, I find them more problematic. I feel like wheels often get chained. I feel like oftentimes wheels just lead to, like, I think it's because it's the refueling of everybody's hands, and that just opens up more broken things to happen.
That's more spells you need to counter, and you worked so
Other
hard counting
people
all those
might play
spells.
Magic. What a shame!
Yeah,
Everyone,
I know, what is
everyone
this?
might do
Sorry,
things.
Other people might get more cards at hand to play Magic to gather with.
More-
and I
more
spent so
threats.
much time preventing them to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. No, like, legitimately,
This
though,
makes so much sense.
I think wheels are super duper annoying, though, regardless. Because, I mean, even if, like, I weren't playing a control deck, because I hate them all the same, no matter what deck I'm playing. My aggro deck, my control deck, I hate them all the same.
Wait, that's not right.
Interesting.
If you're playing
Why-
aggro decks, you want wheels.
Why do
Not
you
necessarily.
dislike
hate
them?
them?
I'm actually curious.
Because
because
the
you
throwing
give
away
other-
of your cards. It's not like I don't have. It's like I'm not in my Naya aggro deck. I don't have counter spells, right? Like in my humans deck, I don't have counter spells. But the thing here is, I still have cards I want, right? And I hate that I can't do anything about it, especially in non-blue decks, right? I just can't. Okay, well, my hand's gone.
Just
Problem
play
solved.
around it.
But you get a new
can't.
hand. It might be a better hand.
And
You
there's-
just, you
and
just
there's
dump your
so-
hand
and
out
there's
faster.
so
Don't
many
hold on to your
more.
cards as long.
That's because Krim actually plays real Magic. He sculpts his lines of play
Yeah, I
around
know.
his hand and sequences future turns. So when you wheel him, it all goes to shambles. But if you're like me, you just wing it. You're like, great.
Which is why
Seven
I
new
like
options.
wheels.
New cards.
Which is why I like wheels. Like wheels, yeah, okay. So you're gaining 7, your opponents get 21. Obviously, that's a bad deal. But in reality, it's much stronger than that because like Krim said, there's going to be cards in your hand, and especially if you're up against like a combo player, for example. Combo player is going to just sculpt their hand. They need to have the right cards in hand. They can't just play it onto the battlefield because that's going to be their tell. Like that's going to signal everybody like, all right, it's XYZ combo. Gotta stop that. You can't just like drop an Astronaut's Altar on turn 2 and expect it to hang around by the time you're ready to go off, right? And I like wheels for that. I like that disruption aspect a lot, but like I've never heard people complain about wheels. I'm like, this is a first for me, honestly.
Oh my god, I hate wheels. You can't do anything about it.
I guess Sheldon didn't like it either, I guess.
Outside of blue decks, right? Like, what am I gonna do about it? Let's say,
but it doesn't hurt you though. Like it's not
spells.
It's not a negative. Like that's the thing that gets me. Like
but
like,
it isn't
normally you're getting
card
more
quality.
cards.
Card quality is better than card quantity to me.
I mean, it's similar to Tomer saying, like, if you spend your whole game sculpting your hand and sewing wheels, it's very bad, right? But, like, I think wheels are like Dredge or Infect or something, right? They're always on the cusp of breaking, right? Like, you wheel with a Waste Knot, you win. You wheel with a Smothering Tithe, you win. You wheel with a Hullbreacher, you win. You wheel your Underworld Breach, you win, right? CDH, you play 8 spells, wheel, play another 8 spells, wheel, right? Like, it's very rarely the fair way, right? The fair way where you discard 7, you get 7, you pass the turn, right? That's not usually what happens, right? Usually it's 3 mana, draw 7, keep going, buy it back, cast some more rituals, keep going, and like game ends, right? Like it's so ripe for abuse, and there's so many cards to abuse with it that I think it's always a ticking time bomb, right? Like if wheels didn't exist, no one cared about Hullbreacher. What are you gonna do? Like, I don't know, Blue Sun Zenith, target your opponent to make some treasures? Like you know, it's these symmetrical effects where you can break the symmetry and, you know, keep going. That's the problem. Like a fixed wheel would be like wheel, end your turn. Wheel, silence yourself, right? You can't keep chaining them.
Days Wheel is Wheel of Misfortune, right? Like, you can opt out if you want, and if you really want to prevent the person from casting it, you pay a lot of life, right? That seems fine.
Yeah, I guess it has a built-in counter spell, right?
Yeah.
I feel like wheels are played fairly way more often than are given credit for. Like my experience with wheels is apparently very different than either yours, where a huge percent of them is like, I'm Boros, I'm mono red, I don't have cards in hand, like I cast Reforge the Soul to draw a few cards, like yeah, everyone else gets to refuel, hopefully that doesn't kill me, but I gotta draw cards somehow. Like that's my overarching opinion of wheels and how I've played most of them. I also wanted to say, like, if you're gonna go with, is it the Hullbreachers or the wheels that's the problem? Wheels have been there from the start. Like, Time Twister is iconic Power 9. Wheel of Fortune from the very earliest days of Magic. All the problem cards are like, oh, Wizards printing broken stuff in the last 5 years, like Smothering Ties and Underworld Breaches and Hullbreachers and Locust Gods and Turgrids and Arsets. Like, name all the problem cards. They're all recent cards that Wizards printed specifically to do this. So I think it's unfair to blame the wheels for Wizards making horrible designs that happen to work with them.
Grave Troll has been in Magic since the beginning of time, but you know, it was Hogak that was the problem, right? Like, yes, Hogak exacerbated it, but Dredge has always been a problem in constructed Magic, right?
I also agree with Seth here. I see a lot of wheel effects without any real payoffs paired to it. It just that's a common occurrence to me.
You can't say that. So I was gonna point to Tomer in our play group. So me and Seth play them fairly, right? We play aggro decks. We play red. We refuel our hand. Tomer, Mr. Spellslinger over there, Mr. Niv Mizzet over there, is always the one that like wrecks our face with the combo wheels, right? So
okay.
I don't know about Tomer fair wheels. Tomer always has the unfair wheels.
He's trying not to crack a smile right now because he knows. He's like,
no? Am I misremembering?
I mean, I generally don't run that many wheels in general. I did run it for the Niv Mizzet week, yeah. But generally, I look at the wheels themselves, and it's like, I had better options. Even I disagree with Seth, where Seth was like, I need to run, you know, Wheel of Fortune because I literally don't have any better options than red. I would disagree highly with that. Like, I think the amount of impulse draw that we have that's high quality these days is so good that I often do not go for the wheels anymore. And the only time I do run the wheels, personally, is often to do busted things like Richard has pointed out. So that one Niv Mizzet deck. But I don't see that being the case for a lot of people. Usually when I play against people, they just wheel and that's it. And it's like, all right, cool. Or when Seth just wheels, it's like, all right, cool. That's fine with me. Please, thank you. Like, I was begging for a wheel when I was playing Dralnu and I had like one card in hand. And it hurt that he held off for forever. And it's only like a handful of cards. Like, there's so many wheels. How many wheels are there in Magic the Gathering that are just so meh by themselves? And then how many of the payoffs are actually insane? Like, what, Underworld Breach is a scary payoff card to a wheel? Oh, you take 7? Like, boo-hoo. Like, I don't care. Take the 7. What the scary thing is the stuff that came out lately. Turgrid, where, all the stuff you discarded, they're mine now. Hullbreacher, you don't get to draw cards. Oh, I make treasures, by the way. Notion Thief, you don't get to draw cards. I get to draw all the cards.
That's old.
I know, but it's like these are cards. Okay, I guess Notion Thief is true. It's like 5 years old now, or no,
It's way older than 5.
It's Dragon's Maze, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like 7 or
quite
8
old.
years, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, so Notion Thief is an outlier in my opinion, but like
2013.
Waste Not is pretty good.
The problem
Like
is
Bone
you're
Mines is
listing
pretty good.
cards that are very different. Like Waste Not is something that rewards you for discarding, right?
Yeah.
Like say Consecrated Sphinx, like rewards you for your opponent's drawing, right? Like you can't ban like literally all of Magic to make wheels. How about you just ban the wheels, right? Like there's just so many cards that interact, and Wizards is not stopping, right? They keep printing more of these, right?
But they're also printing more wheels. Like they're more pointing more wheels, more payoffs. So the question is like, do you cut one or the other? I don't think. Like, I think wheels by themselves are fine. Some of the payoffs are not fine. Like, I don't think people are like...
Hullbreacher could survive, Tomer. Hullbreacher could survive if we didn't have wheels.
I think that you look at it as a payoff. I look at it as a hate against wheels.
I look at it as a hate against card draw, honestly, and I
And
thought
that
you would
too.
be
I like
you would be
that.
on board with that, Krim, because
Yeah.
like one of the best answers that I've noticed that we've consistently came across against Ristic Study on the few sad times that I had to actually play against it. The person who had like 15 cards in hand, we get them finally tap out, and we get their Force of Will and all that stupid free counter magic nonsense. They still have like 20 cards in hand, and then boom, you wheel, and now suddenly everybody's on that same playing field again. And I think like wheels are really good against anti-card draw hate, anti-card draw hate, which is something, Krim, I thought you would be totally on board.
Wheels are
but
Hullbreacher, Krim. That's what Tomer is saying.
They
They literally are Hullbreacher.
They're
want it
Hullbreacher
all
all
along.
along.
They're
But everybody's happy about them. Like I don't know. Like if we actually canvass people, I feel like people would be a lot more pissed off at Hullbreacher than Wheels. And I feel like you just want the ban list to make people happy, right? Like the majority happy. Like I don't know. That's the
It's
whole
because
point.
a
Like,
wheel is a group hug effect, right? Like there's no insanely salty thing unless
It's
you're
masks.
Nekussaring
That-
them, right? Unless
yeah,
you
right.
combo with it, right?
It's a
Whereas
masked
Hullbreacher
kind of thing.
alone is salty, right? Just a single
Yeah, yeah.
Hullbreacher will make you salty, right?
But that's because Hullbreacher is unabashedly, unashamed itself, and like, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna make you salty, and you know, like it's very obvious, right?
Right.
But wheels are very subtle about it. Like people don't factor it in because it's under the illusion I'm gonna draw more cards.
But I think my argument is that wheels, I've seen wheels by themselves being played without crazy payoffs, and people seem to be happy with them. I haven't seen these crazy payoffs
I'm
ever
never
played
happy.
where people are happy with them. Like, I don't think anybody's like, oh joy, a fairly played Turgrid, I'm so excited, or a Hullbreacher or a Notion Thief. Whereas wheels, I actually do see them actually played without crazy payoffs, and people are fine with it. So like if one of them have to go, if the payoffs have to go for wheels, or the wheels themselves have to go, I would 100% say the wheels stay, because I don't know, at least from my anecdotal experience, and please let me know in the comments section, people are okay with the wheels without the payoff, without the crazy payoffs.
I don't really think
What
either
was
has to
Sheldon's
go though.
reason for wheels going?
What?
What was
He didn't
Sheldon's
like it
original?
because of the payoffs.
Oh, because of the
Like if you go
payoffs.
to his review, he's like, "Oh, Dothy Voidwalker, this is terrible because when I get wheeled, my beast is getting exiled."
Sorry, Seth, I cut you off. You were saying?
Oh, no, you're good. I don't really think either have to go though. Like, are these cards really problematic together? Like Hullbreacher, yes, the most pushed of these payoffs. I can see, in my opinion, that being problematic. But in general, like, is this ruining Commander to have Waste Knots and Wheels or Consecrated Sphinx and Wheels? I don't really think that isn't even a problem. Are we even trying to solve a problem here? Are we solving a problem that doesn't even exist?
The problem is we're solving future hull breachers.
Just don't print
It's
them.
like,
Don't
it's like
print
the
them.
existence of birthing pod, right? You're like, every new card I print could be broken and it's causing me an issue, right? So
Yeah,
with
but-
wheels, every new card they print can combo with it. And until you get into the RC's group and slam it every week, right? Like, it's not going to go away.
But like you think like, oh, if they print a critical mass of a wheel, suddenly Underworld Breach will be too annoying for casual tables to deal with. I don't think so. I feel like the problem isn't all the wheel payoffs in general. I think it's just that some of the wheel payoffs are too strong, and the ones that are too strong are the problem. Especially when they deny your opponent's the ability to play the game. Like Smothering Tithe plus Wheel is disgusting. It makes 21 treasures, but crucially, it doesn't remove everybody's hands in the process, right? It's still an amazing play, but people don't complain about that. People complain when you took away my cards. You made me discard my hand, and now I have nothing. All right, we're at an impasse.
Well, yeah, as I said, it's just like I think a lot of it comes to like philosophies of how we play the game and what we're okay with, right? Like, I'm very okay with getting my hand thrown away.
I'm like, if Hullbreacher was adjusted, I would be okay with it as well. If it didn't work with wheels, or if it was easier to shut down. I just feel like it was too strong and therefore it was too prevalent. So I'm okay with it gone. Personally.
I'm right there too. Like, it's the wheel combo that bothers me. I think that hating on card draw is actually like healthy, even if people get salty. So yeah, if it didn't combo with wheels, I'd be fine with it. But since it does, I'm also pretty happy that it's banned.
So would we want, like, if we wanted to see more card draw hate, how would we want to see it in general? So Seth, I know you and me, we don't like the wheel, like the proactive wheel, discard your hand aspect of it. Krim, what do you think about that? Do you want more of those effects? Like,
I want them to print 50 of them in the next set. I want it to be attached to basic lands, just so that this way people like they have to deal with these cards, and they can't ban them all. But legitimately, I do think that I do want more hate cards. Like all jokes aside, I do really want more card draw hate, and I think that. If you want to fix it by making it so opponents spells that would cause you to discard and draw, like, wheel away your cards, if that fixes the card, perfectly fine. I just want ways to hate people's ability to draw cards. I want and that's it. Legitimately, I just want more powerful hate that can affect a multiplayer game. Opposition agent is totally fine. So I want more of that. I want literally that effect attached to like everything I can get it on. And hate me out with it too, right? Because it goes both ways. The more of these get printed, the more of them I will see too. But I am A-okay with it.
what if they were symmetrical though? Like, remember there in the before times, stacks pieces used to be symmetrical, where it was like, oh, okay, so you want to get all the benefit, but like,
Yeah, because
well,
as I said, and you need to have your cards not feel like you're down a card, right? For playing it, you want to make it so that you actually build some kind of advantage for it.
okay. So note to the symmetrical hate.
What about like Alms
Whoa,
Collector?
whoa.
A very powered down. Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't play it for a reason. It doesn't feel like a good
No
card.
one
Half
plays
people,
it.
I don't think anybody in the half reviews don't even know what Alms Collector is. This is a so Alms Collector, for people who are at home scratching their head, they're like, what? White actually has a Notion Thief. So yes, I know it's crazy, but it's bad. That's why nobody plays it, and that's why it's white. It's 4 mana. It's like cat flash. If your opponent would draw like more than one card, then they draw 1 card instead, and you draw a card or some nonsense like that. Doesn't
White
even
card
stop
draw.
Ristic Study. It doesn't even stop Ristic Study because it has to be more than one. It's trash.
What are you talking? This should be banned. This is a 3/4. That's 4 toughness. Unban Hullbreacher.
I think it was like 18% of all decks. I think it would also get banned probably, but
No,
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's like hit 1% of all decks. Like,
It's now in 3% of
whoa,
264,000.
whoa!
I think
those are
that's-
all the Hullbreacher people taking out Hullbreacher, putting in Alms Collector.
I think it's actually because it's a cat. I think every cat deck
yeah.
plays it, and
The
people
fact
love
that
their
it's a
cat
cat
decks.
Commanders, Arabo, yes, Arabo.
Like this card though is just awful though, right? Like it's not good at all. It's one of the worst things ever.
It can still get you if it's a
You
wheel.
may get like a wheel, sure, but the thing here is I just don't like this card. I wouldn't even play it. It's not even like it doesn't do anything.
It is pretty
has-
powered down compared to
Yeah.
the other options for sure.
Because I want to hate out card draw, right? And I mean all card draw, not card draw that's
not
like,
your own card draw, but
Well,
everybody else's.
yeah, exactly. And on top of that, this is only they have to draw more than one. What if somebody only? I want to stop the opt. Like legitimately, I want to stop your opt even.
Of
You
course
can
do,
scry,
Tim.
that's fine, but like, it'll be.
You know
but,
what?
like,
I actually changed my mind. I'm happy they got banned. There, happy got banned.
Yes.
What are your other cards that you like, Crim's Notion Thief? I'm gonna see if I can get on the CAG. If I can get on the CAG and see what I can do about that one for you.
Narset 2 and just get them all on there. No, but like,
Give me a list.
am I like it may seem hateful or whatever, but stopping card draw is huge. First off, it cuts off.
Stop the ops. You want to stop the opt too. That's where you drew the line.
Yo, dude, yeah, I do want to stop an opt. That's
Very
how,
important.
That's how far I want to go to prevent things.
We need to make sure nobody plays the game of Magic the Gathering, because that's the way to grow the format. Nobody's having fun at the table.
That's
only
not
you.
entirely true. That's not entirely true here, because I think that controlling the game is still good, right? It's still fun for people. And like you're going to have ways to counteract me, right? I go into this, I say this because I fully expect resistance from the rest of the table. As in like
There is
I'm
a-
going to do something and somebody is going to do something about what I'm doing.
There is a reason
there-
you do tend to die first. That
Yes,
is something
yes.
people do about what you're doing often.
I have unified the table, though, right? Like the you got to think of it like example. Richard's always able to sit there and hold like 32 counter spells, not use a single resource the whole game, right?
He can sit with Lich's Mastery on the battlefield, and you chuckleheads won't even attack him. I had to watch that stupid thing.
Fair,
I was so tilted.
but
Tilted
you see,
beyond
he,
belief.
he wouldn't draw
Player
cards.
draw
if there was
new.
a
Player
Hullbreacher.
draw new, so we can make a sacrifice of permanence. Lich's Mastery's right there.
It's what the
Make
YouTube
him
wanted to
sack his
see.
permanence. Oh man, I watched that live and I was so tilted. I was like,
But-
I'm
Tober
so
still
glad
hasn't
I'm
learned.
gone.
The more he talks, the more
I'm
attention
so
he brings
glad
to
I'm
himself.
gone. I was pointing it out. I was like, why don't you attack the Lich's Master? It's like, nah. Play Drownu though. All right, bye. Bye.
But that's what I mean though. Like I think that because like players
Yeah,
can sit and
affected.
do nothing. They can do nothing, right? And they can wait. And if I play these cards, Hullbreachers and these hate cards, it forces them to act. And I like that.
What are they supposed to act if they got Hullbreacher wield? What are
Well,
they
now-
going to act with? What cards in their hand?
Now they can. Well, okay. First off, you're assuming that I'm wheeling. I've legitimately never wheeled with a Hullbreacher.
Thank goodness, because we had it banned.
Well, no, but even without the banning.
I was
So,
proactive about it.
like the thing is,
No,
I
it's
go,
psychological, right? Like, so if we actually look at the data, right? Like we
Yeah.
do this all the time. We knee jerk ban, but that's fine because it's our play group and we do it for content, right? Like, we're not controlling the entire commander population in the future of Hasbro, right? So like for example, Armageddon is banned after like a single casting, right? We feel that Crim has counterbalanced top every game, when he's like assembled it once in like all of history, right? And same with Hullbreacher Wheel, right? He's done it like once maybe, but
I've never
threat
Hullbreacher
of
Wheel.
it is always looming, and we sense that threat, and we meme about it, we joke about it,
Because he usually
and then
has it
becomes
in
reality.
those decks. Because
Right.
he usually had it in
I
those decks.
don't,
Like,
I don't.
Well, look at the deck list. It'll be like Notion Thief Wheel. It is. I mean, that's why I advocated against
But,
it. I was
but
like,
it doesn't happen though, right? But like
it doesn't
that's-
happen. Yeah.
No, but it's never even in the deck. The only time I've had it was with the Narset wheel. And I didn't even Narset wheel because I misplayed.
So going back to the original question of like, should we keep printing card denial? I think the
Yes.
answer is no, right? Because like
Yes.
Tomer said, what do you want us all to do? Sit around and not play Magic, right? Like card denial is the same as land destruction in my mind, right? Like theoretically, plausible. It's good. You're one for oneing each other. You're keeping each other in check. But people don't like it when their lands are destroyed. People don't like it when their card draw is denied. Like, certain things are acceptable, right? Like, you play 8 creatures, you get wrath. You're like, oh, shucks, that's Magic the Gathering, right? You just 8 for 1 yourself. Spent like 8 turns of mana. It's fine, right? But if you play a Sphinx's Rev or a Harmonize or something, if someone flashes in Hullbreacher, it's very detrimental, right? If you play 3 lands, they Armageddon, like, it's over, right? So there are certain effects that we're not allowed to do in Magic. Like, we can destroy artifacts, we can destroy enchantments, we can destroy creatures, but we're not allowed to touch hands and lands, I think. So I think, like, I think and
kinda true.
hands and lands are vital for you to continue playing Magic.
So
right? Like, it's
wheels.
okay that you got reset, but you can keep playing more cards and keep participating. But without lands or hands, you can't do that. So I would say that they should not make more Hull Breachers. I think they will always be a salty card, just like they shouldn't make more Armageddons or Stone Rains or Wastelands or whatever.
Do you think Alms Collector is a salty card though?
That's because it
Actually-
sucks so bad. It's like, is the 8
I'm
mana
salty.
destroy Stone Rain any bad? Like, no, it's so bad that no one cares.
I'm salty
Oh,
that
it's not
I
that
played
bad.
Alms Collector. Okay.
It's not that bad.
It was okay 4 years ago when it was printed, but by
No, it
now
wasn't. 4
it's
years
just...
ago. It wasn't. Every time I saw this card 4 years ago, I was like, "This is so." Bad.
I used to play it in my deck thinking it would do something. Okay, when I was desperate in mono white, it never did anything, and I've never played again. Right?
Yep. Sounds right.
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It's like card draw denial I think is good in theory, but when the card itself is too strong, then everybody's salty about it because it becomes very prevalent. And that's the problem. It's like Alms Collector. If Alms Collector was a good card, people would be salty about it. But it's not a good card, therefore it doesn't see play. So it's like, is there a middle ground where you can make an Alms
What is a
Collector?
balanced one? Is there any balanced card denial?
I think
you
it's so
of?
like me and Seth has said. It's like if as long as opponents control, as long as it doesn't work with wheels, I think
Preferably
people
without
would accept
flash.
it. Yes, I think.
No,
I
no,
think
Narset?
Flash is fun.
well,
Flash is
like
fun.
Narset
Grand's
works with wheels
Magistrate.
though.
I
Oh,
think
I guess
Grandis
that's true.
Magistrate is a good example of like a very fair card that's also incredibly powerful.
People want
it's
that
a
band.
2-drop. It stops you from playing your commanders. It stops you from doing a bunch of stuff. It shuts down so many things, Cascade and everything. But it's sorcery speed because you have to cast it. It doesn't have flash, and it just dies to anything. Like you just throw anything. Like it's a 1/3. Like whatever.
That's more toughness than a whole.
Wait, you like that? I thought it was against the spirit of the format.
I love this card. I think it's fantastic. It's easily removed, and it doesn't remove your entire board the turn it's cast or anything as a gotcha. Like I think that's great. I think cards that are like the Drainth Magistrate of Hullbreacher would have been great. Something that doesn't have
what would
flash.
that be? So no
Something
flash.
that doesn't have flash. Doesn't like actively discard your opponent's hands. You know, like you can't pair it with your own wheels. It has something your opponent's controls. Doesn't have flash. Doesn't work with your own wheels. Only with your opponent's stuff. And keep all the rest of the text the same. You'll make treasures. You can even draw cards instead too. It's fine. I think that card would be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Would it be played?
Yes, 100%.
But then I can't play Dak Faden and target you with it.
I think that card would never be played. So like a 3 mana 2/3 Hullbreacher,
No, a
no
2
flash.
mana 1/3 Just so Drannith Magistrate,
Yeah.
2 mana, 1/3. If an opponent would have an effect that makes them draw more than one card, they instead don't draw those cards and you make that many treasure tokens.
You
don't
would
think
never
that
play
would
that,
play?
right? No, because
I'd
you
play
would
it.
play it, it would get removed, and you just like 0-for-1 yourself, right? Without getting any value, and like no one's gonna play into it because of sorcery speed. So like, why?
Your
What would
opponents
you
still
do
have
with
the
this?
your opponents are still stonewalled until they can can deal with it.
People play Drannith Magistrate, and that's the same
Yeah, you could just
stats
remove
and
Drannith
same
Magistrate.
issue, right?
Isn't Drannith Magistrate like insane CDH? Like what?
Yeah, but that's CDH, right? But people randomly slap down Drannith Magistrate for no reason in casual play. I don't think so.
I run it. Yeah,
I run it.
How much is
Interesting.
how often is Drannith Magistrate played?
It is
I love
played
33%, or no,
10
sorry,
10% of
10%.
decks.
10%.
That's pretty reasonable. I don't know.
Alright, maybe
not-
we'll
not
see. Play
bad.
then. I don't know. I would play.
Like
it.
obviously it's way worse than Hullbreacher, but that's the whole point, right? Like you don't want. I don't know. I feel like there's a. I don't know.
I think
What-
being
What if it
symmetrical is
cantrips
also an
itself on the way
interesting.
down?
Okay, yeah, I mean that'd be fine. Like you can turn the the knobs a little bit to make it worth playing. It's more the gotcha aspect, I think, that it can be problematic in the combo with the wheels. So I think
Flash
that
and
you
also
could.
worse with wheels.
I'm sure you could design it in a way where it could be good enough to see play, but not actually be broken. And I also think symmetrical would be fine. Like, sure, you can wheel away everyone's hand, but you are also going to lose your hand in the process. You still hate on card draw, but you're going to have to be like, I don't know, a Dark Confidant deck,
Spirit
a
of the
Hellbent
Labyrinth
deck,
with
some sort
Flash.
of like, yeah, something like that, where it's hitting on everyone. And then I think it could also be fine.
Yeah, I think like the main thing is like don't make it so prevalent that everybody feels obligated to run it in every single one of the decks. But for people who want those effects, have them available to people, like Crim. Except
What
now
I'm hearing is
Crim
you're just
won't
gonna
run
make
it
the
because
cards
it's not
bad enough that people won't play it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
like,
that's
essentially, right?
They make it slightly better until they're good enough that people will play it, but,
But
it
then
won't
there's
be run
some
by everybody.
break point where it's good enough that everyone plays it, right? And then the break point where it's
Well,
so
we
bad
found-
that no one plays it. Like
well, we
Alms
found
Collector
one
is
extreme.
Hullbreacher, right?
Well, we
Like, how
found
do you
one
get the
extreme with
middle?
Hullbreacher. We found the other extreme with Alms Collector. Now start dialing it back. Start doing the numbers. How many cards are they making for Commander, Richard, every single year? I'm sure they had some slots available to play test it or tweak it until they get the right number. I don't know.
If you would have told
no
me the
room.
card was 2 mana, if Spirit of the Labyrinth were exactly costed and statted the way it is, but except for every opponent only, then I'd play it.
But then doesn't it combo with wheels again, and that ruins the whole
Well,
goes
but I
back
mean,
to
like,
a better
It's sorcery
Hullbreacher?
speed.
Well,
I mean, it's
no,
one
but it
less
would be
mana Narset at this
it'd be
point,
sorcery. See, so
But
now
my problem is wheel
now you
combos,
5
though. Like,
mana
I want to
to-
eliminate the wheel combos. You can hate on the
Eliminate
card draw, just like you can't combo with it. And I don't know if that
well,
would do
but then
it.
you would change it, right? Like how it's like you make it so only things that your opponents.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? Like that's
Okay.
you tack that on there, but then you make it a 3/1 2 mana, and then it's only
you
my
would-
opponents.
and you would do
can't
that?
Draw more. Yeah, I would.
You'd be happy with that?
I would
Okay.
be so happy with that. Like, are you kidding me? All I care about is that my opponents aren't drawing extra cards.
We found common
We
ground.
found it. I would
Well,
also
oh,
accept
and then
that
you have
card.
to
I think
change-
we
I
broke
will.
it.
Wait,
I'll accept it.
but
It's just Narset?
not
I'm
just each
confused.
turn. Yeah, it's just
No,
Narset.
Narset
No,
works
no.
with wheels though.
With the
You're
wording
saying
to not work with wheels, with the safe wording, so it doesn't
right.
combo with wheels.
wheels that you control.
And
Yeah.
opponents can't draw on any turn after their normal turn. Like because Spirit of the Labyrinth reads each turn. So that means like
Right.
if you pass the turn, you're now okay. Well, now I can opt on your turn and still draw a card. I don't want.
Oh, I see.
I only want your only card draw to be your own from your main draw phase, and that's it.
Oh, see
I
what
don't
you're
want any way to play around this card.
saying. Crim's giving you
And
your draw
include
step.
the
needs to
draw
be
phase
busted.
too.
All right.
Yes.
All right, we've
And the
got
draw
common
step
ground.
in.
Now
Yes.
the common ground has gone an extra couple steps on Crimson.
I think we're good.
No.
But
we figured it
that's
out.
like how you would build a hate card that goes the distance in a multiplayer game,
And not combo
and
with
not
wheels.
wheel, and not combo with wheels. I mean, I never play wheels, so it doesn't matter to me. All right, that's why I don't care. Like it's like you add
I
whatever
never play
clause.
wheels. Chaos week.
Okay, chaos week is a different week. Okay,
Never play wheels though.
But that
Just
is
all the times I played wheels.
that is the only example because chaos week is funny, and that's where chaos can happen.
All right, I think we've figured out everything we could figure out ahead of this Hullbreacher debate. Is there anything else that we wanted to cover? Anything that any burning desire people need to leave on the table before we wrap it up? Alrighty.
Don't
well,
buy Chase Mythics from the latest set. It might get banned. Wait a year. What about all those poor souls who bought Hullbreachers?
We go through this with standard every set, Richard. We've already learned this. Never buy the Chase
Commander
Mythics.
was previously untouchable, right? Like they haven't touched anything in quite a while, right? Like I get Tree, Hulk, like they're pretty hands off. Standard we know is a free for all now, where like half the cards get banned, but Commander's been safe so far.
I think though the biggest thing that I felt bad about for the ban, honestly, was I know some people tweeting out like, I just bought my Hullbreacher, and especially for people who don't have that much disposable income, like you spend $25 for a Hullbreacher and it's in the mail or whatever, and then your card gets banned, it feels really bad. So that's another reason why I don't like bans in general, and I probably wouldn't have banned Hullbreacher. I wouldn't advocate for it. I don't feel bad that it's banned. And I wouldn't like to see more of it in the future, but it does kind of suck if you lose money basically out of it. If it's,
thankfully I don't think you're gonna get too wrecked financially. It does see legacy play. It's gonna go down a little bit right now as everyone rushes out to sell their copies, but it's not going to be like a $1 card. I think it's still going to be relatively expensive. So hopefully people don't get too wrecked with that one.
All 5 legacy players will have a free for all, snatching up their
or maybe this will.
There's dozens of us, Richard. Dozens.
Maybe this will break the format. Maybe somebody will come up with a new format with a new ban list and call it, I don't know, Lieutenant or something.
Nah, I would only do that if they banned wheels.
Last topic. Before we run out of time, what do you think about CDH players that just incidentally got hit by this?
Yeah, I mean, we gave you Flash. You got so we're even now. That's my feeling.
I don't know. I'm not in CDH communities. I feel like it kind of sucks for them, but also at the same time, the rules committee has also made it very clear like that the ban list was always made for basically their power level essentially, and that kind of sucks when you're trying to play it at a higher power level and whatever, and a card that isn't an issue for your play group is suddenly banned. But that's how it is. I don't know.
Rule zero
it back. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
can
really
I
hard
rule
zero this?
Yeah, I know.
No,
not,
Crim.
there's no
No.
great fix.
Can
I
we
don't know.
rule zero things back into the format? Is there-
Moto doesn't allow it.
I'm
We
sorry,
have to play
Moto doesn't
paper.
allow it.
Oh,
Oh, beans. It
yo,
sucks.
that sucks. Oh, if only that were
Krim
the
was all
only
excited.
reason.
Next season, he could play Hullbreacher again.
Yeah.
And the RC just
There's still
stepped on his
notion
dreams.
thief, Graham. There's still notion thief. in
They
our
did
set.
pry
They'll make it work.
Hullbreacher from my cold dead hands, and I
All right, so that is our debate on Hullbreacher and tangentially. How do you say that word? Seth, tangent. You know, the wrong
Tangentially, yeah.
side.
it's
I think you're good.
tangerine. It's
You're good.
tangerine.
Tangerine.
Tangerine
Clementine.
we also
Mandarin.
oranges. Aren't you glad this podcast is finally over?
After that joke, yes.
That's it, everybody. We talked about Hullbreacher. We talked about wheels. As always, leave a comment down below what you think about it. Please keep it civil. No name calling on like the RC or any of us here too. Just be
Please,
nice,
are you
I
kidding
guess.
me? Are you kidding me? We in the comment section.
Like you can leave a nasty comment, engage, I guess, but I'm just going to hide you from the channel afterwards. So think about that. Like,
you know what his
I'm
problem
going to
is?
see it.
I hate this guy.
I'm gonna see it and for half a second, and then I'm gonna ban you from the YouTube channel. So keep it civil. Just be nice. This is a Magic the Gathering. It's a game we play for fun. Keep that in mind. Context matters here, and everybody. And until next time, friends. 2 weeks from now, we'll have another podcast. And yeah, until then, see ya. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, help us out by clicking the like button down below. And to keep up with the latest and greatest, make sure to click the subscribe button. And if you want to watch similar videos, click on the links appearing on screen right now.